Hey folks, Jim here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the newest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop a comment down below. Now, this week we're on issue 18, is the first issue of the new year. This is the issue that should have been here last week, but Hatchet Partworks actually delayed it by a week, just so they had a chance to kind of catch up with everything and try and make sure everything was available for several issues in the future. And yeah, apparently they should have succeeded. And also because of the bank holidays and Christmas period in the UK, mainly, which is what we were trying to avoid. Now, before we kind of crack on with everything, this issue does come with a little note as well. So, this note reads, "Dear customer, we regret to inform you that your new battle mat is not included with this issue as advertised in your magazine. We apologise for this, which is down to a production delay. The battle mat now will now be included with issue 21 in time to start battling your Necrons and the forces of the Imperium. Thank you for your patience, Hatchet Partworks." So, this issue should have come with a battle mat as well as the minifig today, but it didn't because of some production issues and a delay in producing the battle mats. It happens. It's going to be one of them things. You know, I'm not going to hold it against them. At the end of the day, it's just one of them things. In this issue, though, we do get a pretty cool model. We get the Technomancer from the Necron range. Pretty cool guy. I'm looking forward to painting this chappy up. I do like painting good old character kind of units, which is always really, really good fun. I kind of prefer painting those over the generic soldiers of any army. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting going with that guy as well. He looks pretty cool. Into the issue itself, we are of course greeted by the Technomancer. So, Technomancers belong to the ranks of the Cryptex. Necrons, who are masters of science and technology. They specialise in repairing damaged Necrons and Canaptech constructs on the field of battle. They are also lethal warriors in their own right. So, with the kind of war gear of the Technomancer, they do have the Canaptech cloak. So this is a piece of Cryptech technology which allows the wearer to fly with the aid of its built-in spider construct. The cloak can also repair damaged Necrons, which is the little spider construct at the bottom there, which also kind of can be built in over the top as well, which is pretty cool and pretty different and looks a bit unusual. They also carry the Staff of Light, which is a weapon that absorbs energy from the surrounding environment and releases it in the forms of lightning that freeze and shatter those they strike. And they also have their usual enhancements as well, which are, because they are Cryptex that are important members of Necron society, they adorn their living metal bodies with extravagant tabards, metallic tassels, and symbols of office, and much more. And the Cryptex are of course, being the scientists and engineers of the Necron race, they are able to create, manipulate and repair the Necron's advanced technology, endless legions and armies of Canaptech constructs, and much more. So they are also learned Cryptex that hold important positions in royal courts of great Necron dynasties. And then on the other page as well, you get your battle record as well, as per usual, so you can name it using the noble designation, so you can give it its bequeathed name, a magnificent title as well, its dynastic epithets, and then also you can give it its ancient degradations as well. So for instance, you can have a degradation of being obsessed with human technology, or collecting the corpses of its enemies. So a little bit unusual. And then also you can name the Staff of Light as well, so you can call it, for instance, Celestial Annihilator, which is always pretty cool and sounds pretty decent. And then you can also, you don't even have to just go through that, you can actually get other weapon names from the background B for the Necrons as well, so you can name it in different ways if you want to, or just come up with your own one if you really, really fancy it. Going forward though, we also have a page for the Space Marines, which is the Tools of War, and this is all about the power armour. So, even unarmoured, the genetically enhanced transhuman Space Marines are formidable warriors who can withstand terrible punishment. When clad in a suit of Ceramite's power armour, however, the battle brothers of the Adeptus Astartes are almost unstoppable. So, power armor being worn by humanity's forces, including the battle sisters of the Adeptus Sororitas and many Inquisitors, the most recognisable and technologically advanced power armour, however, is worn by the Space Marines. So Space Marine power armour is made from ceramite, a material that is both light and strong. Ceramite also has the added benefit of being heat resistant and protecting the wearer against the majority of energy weapons. So there are many different forms of power armour from the Space Marine range. This has been going on for quite a long time, and the newest versions are the Primaris suits, which are pretty damn cool and a little bit bigger and a bit chunkier than normal. So there is Terminator armour, which is only worn by the decorated veterans of a chapter's first company. Terminator power armour is bulkier and more restrictive than most other forms of power armour, reducing the speed of those who wear it in battle. This reduction in speed is more than compensated for by the superior protection it provides. Terminator power armour also contains built-in teleportation homers, which allow the wearer to be teleported directly onto the battlefield. Most chapters possess only a few suits of Terminator armour, as it's both incredibly rare and difficult to maintain. So the Terminators do have a lot of cool armour and do look pretty different and a bit kind of bulkier, with that kind of strong spread-legged power stance that they kind of go with, and they look pretty cool. And then you also have your different armours as well. So there is the Tacticus armour, when I can learn to speak, which was created by Archmagus Dominus Belisarius Corps of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and it is designed to equip Primaris Space Marines, those Space Marines deployed across the galaxy as part of the Indomitus Crusade, which is your standard power armour that we've had with majority of our other minis, in all honesty. There is Omnis armour. So Omnis armour is a jump pack and grav chute equipped version of Gravis armour. Omnis armour also incorporates elements of Phobos pattern armour, making it lighter and quieter as well, so which is pretty cool, and they look pretty decent as well. They look pretty cool units. There is a Phobos armour, so we've already had some kind of a form of Phobos armour with a Librarian, for instance, which is a lighter form of Tacticus armour that sacrifices some of the base armour's durability for greater mobility and speed. It is worn by Vanguard Space Marines who specialise in stealthy operations, and servo motors of the Phobos armour are engineered to be silent. And then there is the Gravis armour, for instance, that is the heavier form of the armour, which is thicker, reinforced ceramite plates that provide protection that comes close to that of the Terminator armour. Aggressors and Eradicator close support squads wear Gravis armour in battle, as do some Primaris captains, which is pretty cool. Which we've already had some of those guys as well, which is always pretty cool. Then we have more information about one of your factions, which is the Drukhari. So the Drukhari are sadistic killers who feed off the despair, anguish and suffering of their victims. Patriarchal slavers, they raid their unsuspecting enemies with lightning speed before vanishing back to their lairs in Kamorga, the twisted city that lurks deep in the webway. So the Drukhari basically being the space elves, essentially, in kind of a roundabout way, and they are, raiders pretty much, and they do look pretty cool. They're very, very different. They've got a little bit similar to the Eldari in a lot of ways, so kind of like your dark elves, for instance, from good old Age of Sigmar or something like that. Then moving on, we have March of the Machines, which is one of the stories. So in the Pariah Nexus, many worlds have been scoured of life by Necrons. Deep in the ruins of an Imperial Forge world, the armies of the Adeptus Mechanicus attempt to recover valuable weapons, technology and equipment before it is discovered and destroyed by the Necron foe. So the story is kind of going to go through, and is basically rank upon rank of robed Skitarii soldiers strode forwards through the silent depths of a Forge world Garadar, the metallic clank of their feet shattering the eerie silence. So, nice story about the Adeptus Mechanicus ploughing through and trying to make sure that they capture and recover technologies that they are going to want and use against the Necrons, and the Necrons being the Necrons and wanting to destroy all of it. So, which is pretty cool. And a pretty decent story as well. Then we have our how to build section for the Technomancer. Quite a lot of little parts to all of this. We have a 50mm base for the Technomancer as well. A lot to kind of go through. Make sure you're kind of paying attention to it because you don't want to screw this up. You will need glue and yeah, a lot of little kind of fiddly bits to begin with, and then it gets a lot easier for kind of more you kind of build up of it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, really cool unit. Pretty different as well, which is always really good. Then your how to paint section, very easy. You shouldn't have a problem with this. Paint it up the same way you've been painting, in a very similar style to the Necrons that you've already been painting. You can't go wrong. Just have a bit of fun with it. Enjoy it. And just, yeah, you're not going to go wrong, in all honesty. I genuinely can't believe that you would. But yeah, pretty decent one. And good little model. If you're painting it up the same way that you painted it up in the magazine, it's going to look something like that. I personally don't like the way they do the rocks. I think the rocks look pretty terrible. You can do far better using greys, in all honesty. So if you use Mechanica Standard Grey as a base coat, layer it over, dry brush it with some Administratum Grey, and that already looks far better than that in my opinion. But it's entirely up to you at the end of the day. I'm just saying how I personally feel about it. I don't agree with that. Then you've got your playthrough section. So the playthrough section is hunting the Technomancer. So with this, you're going to need your Technomancer, and you are going to need your Primaris Aggressors as well. And you will also be using some of your minis as well, some of your destroyers as well for this one, which will be pretty cool. But yeah, it's a pretty decent kind of battle. Should be good fun. You can't go wrong with it. Bit different. You can use some of your scenery pieces as well. So it is essentially you are going to need to kind of balance things every now and then, so do not worry about that. Some terrain pieces will make it very kind of uncomfortable and make some models fall over, but yeah, you should be fine really with it. But have a bit of fun with it. You'll also be using your Space Marine good old Lieutenant as well from the first issue in this, if you wanted to go through the same playthrough as this. So have a bit of fun, enjoy it, and yeah, lots of good stuff. It does mention here as well that we got the new battle mat. Obviously we haven't, but we will be getting it in issue 21. So in issue 21 as well, from 21 to 40, the Adeptus Mechanicus are joining the forces that we're already getting for the Imperium. Should be really good fun. We'll also start getting some of the new scenery as well, which will also be pretty cool. And there's going to be some more really good units to get as well. So a lot of good stuff to look forward to with this as well. And a lot more Necrons and much more to kind of kick us on with and get us going, which should be really good fun. Definitely a good one. Moving on though, next week we get the last of the armoured containers with the barrels and crates. Entirely up to you how you want to paint it. I mean, I've done one that is green, I have done one that is blue, and then I've got red crates, I have green crates, I have red barrels, and I have black barrels, and I will do different colours for that container in all honesty as well. And then issue 20, 2 paints, not the greatest. So we get Corn Red and we get Troll Slayer Orange. This is obviously to start bringing in the fact that we get in the Adeptus Mechanicus, and they're mostly red, and they will definitely be red in the magazine. Entirely up to you if you want to go with that paint scheme, or you can kind of create your own. I personally am not going to do it the same way. I've got other ideas for it, but really good stuff. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.